Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest episode of the Armchair podcast. And it's a very exciting episode this week because we haven't got Josh, thank God. I know, another episode without Josh, which means the podcast is probably going to do numbers again because when he leaves, that's usually what happens. Bless him. No, I'm only joking. We do miss Josh, but we've replaced Josh this week. So I'm very excited with a very special guest who I used to work with a while back, a good mate of mine. And it's an honour to have him on the Armchair podcast, the first ever guest. And I told you guys, invest in the stocks because we're going to take over. We're going to be the best football podcast on YouTube. And this is the first step because we have got the glorious, basically the best football TikTok content producer in the game.
You're gassing me.
It is Mr. ViperSport.
Yes, guys. What a pleasure to be on the Armchair podcast. I've been waiting for my debut. Thank you for having me on, Flowers. This is unbelievable. What a full circle moment. And listen, just like he told you guys, invest in the stocks. I am investing early. I'm the first investor, I would like to claim.
Yeah, mate.
And I'm investing for the long run. So, I might be a guest today, but I don't mind hopping in when good old Josh isn't about. So you might see me more. This is my debut, though. I have to impress.
Exactly, mate. It's a trial, and obviously it's a bit like BBC, how they give you a trial. It's the same thing here. Do you know what I mean? Like we're gonna have to trial you, but I'm sure you do okay. Obviously, you're probably a bit nervous jumping on one of the best football podcasts, well, the best football podcast. Obviously,
I actually told
on YouTube. But
I told my parents before this, this is genuinely a groundbreaking day in my career. Just to be on such a platform is unbelievable, and I'm excited. I'm an avid clip watcher, so. And just to be doing stuff with you again is always a pleasure, so I can't wait, man.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. So let's jump straight into it then, shall we? Because obviously everyone knows, all you followers know, and I know, obviously, because we're good mates, that you are a Chelsea fan.
Let's go.
Chelsea.
Best team in London, obviously, as we know as well, as you know that as well.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that then, shall we? So you're fifth in the league at the minute, mate.
Yes.
Good win against Tottenham yesterday. So first of all, just want to get your take on the performance from the other day. What do you think?
I mean, it's standard, isn't it? It's Tottenham Hotspur's 3-point lane, whatever you want to call it, the 3-point lane stadium nowadays, whatever they rebranded it to. But it's just home. It's our wife. Beautiful stadium. And a beautiful club because they always donate 3 points towards us. So how can I complain? About the performance, I thought we looked very good when it came to the shape. I think every player on the pitch was superb. Couple of mid-performances. I'd say Pedro Neto, I expected him to be a little bit better yesterday. But everyone else, I mean, Moises Caicedo is the best midfielder in the league, maybe the best midfielder in the world. Robert Sanchez cleaning up every single time. He's come out of his mistakes era, I would say. We saw a lot of memes from him last year, but I think this season, especially through the Club World Cup up until now, he's been very, very solid. So, big props to him. Reece James, unbelievable. All around, very good. The one thing I was disappointed about yesterday was I felt like we didn't take the chances that were given. That could be many factors. Maybe we were a bit lackluster dominating the game. João Pedro was very hungry for goals. He is very hungry for goals because what he walked into that Chelsea team with Cole Palmer behind him, he's missing that, and you can see that. So now when he picks up the ball deep, he's being a bit selfish, but in the sense of he's a hungry striker, I see it. And some of those chances were missed. But, we can nitpick, but it's a big 3 points against a team that, are sitting high up the table as well. And we take those and we move forward.
Yeah, I have to say I was quite impressed, actually, because I think defensively this season, you've been a bit shaky, and I think disciplinary-wise, red cards, it's been a bit iffy. Crazy. But you look solid, man. I've got to admit, like it was. I know, obviously, the complaint was from Spurs fans was that Tottenham didn't offer a lot going forward, but you still kept the clean sheet. I think it was a professional performance.
Yep.
And you didn't get a red card.
Unbelievable.
Which is surprising.
I was quite disappointed, actually. I was hoping the streak continued because, that's the brand now. Getting a red card is important for us. But all jokes aside, no, it was good to obviously not get a red card. Liam Delap's one in the week was just silly. There was no need for that one. But yeah, I think Tottenham have a good side. Mohamed Kudus, they signed. I was gonna say something crazy, but Simmons he hasn't lived up to what the talent he actually has. But I think that's the Premier League in general. A lot of players that are coming in from overseas are struggling. But Spurs have a good side. Brennan Johnson, all these guys, solid side. I think that kind of, I don't want to, even though they didn't create the chances yesterday, I don't want that to take away from Chelsea's performance. We were off the ball. I think we were better off the ball and in our shape than we actually were going forward yesterday, hence the 1-0 result.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think you were decent. What happens to this team, though, once Cole Palmer comes back in? Like, do you think you'll get used to playing without him, which obviously you are sort of, you're getting there now, aren't you, with the system?
Yeah.
When he comes in, where does he play? Who takes his place? Or who would come out? Who comes out for him? Essentially, how does that work? Do you think?
I don't think it's going to be quite rich of me to say because he has dragged us through a hard time. But I think this season we've learned that we're not a one-man team. Maybe we felt like it in the last season, and him always pulling out, kind of like a Hazard. When we were down bad, Hazard would always put through a goal or a performance and help us survive. But I think this season we've shown many a times that we can pull through results without Cole Palmer. I think he adds to the side. You look at that, he can play a right winger role or he can sit behind João Pedro. The shape always moves. You see Estevao and Palmer, similar players in terms of Estevao's a bit more of a winger, but he can come into that, almost a 10 role and Palmer goes back out wide. Or vice versa. So I think Palmer adds to that team. He's obviously going to be a starter. He's going to be part of that three that just sit behind the striker or alternate. But he's just one of those players where you fit him in where the opportunity is, where he plays best, where he makes the most for the team, and he adds to that team. He adds to any team he walks into.
Yeah, no, I think you've missed him a bit this season. To be fair, creativity-wise.
I agree. Yesterday, there was a point I said it because when we were coming forward, just before that João Pedro goal, we got the ball and it was just static. No one was moving. And it almost felt like we missed that magic, that moment of craziness where he just turns or he feints a little body drop or whatever and puts the ball into a crazy area. We missed that. Similarly to the Conference League final against Betis last year where we were 1-0 down and we needed that magic. And in a static game, all of a sudden, he wakes up and he makes 2 or 3 chances and we're up. So yeah, you're right. We definitely do miss that. But things that you have to take away, we are a better team regardless. Well, not better team without him. What I'm saying is we are still a good side without him in it. He adds different type of flavour to that team.
He just adds that star quality, doesn't he? I mean,
he's
even
that
when he
player.
came on.
He's that player. I mean, one player doesn't win you the league, but he is that player that's going to make us challenge for that top 4, top 3, top 2.
I think, like you say, with him, I think you'd probably be a few points better off potentially. Just because I know he's not much of a. I don't watch Chelsea too often, but he doesn't seem like a hard worker. Someone who's going to dig in and do challenges. But when you need that, someone to, like you say, cut through the defence, that moment of magic, in the Euros final for us, like that goal was he's just cold, isn't he?
That's the point. You probably watched him most in the Euros, where any time England was static, that moment of magic came from him. It came off the bench. Ollie Watkins just slices a pass through to him. The Euros final comes on. Takes that, I think it was a first touch finish anyway. What a finish. So he is that player that he just amplifies your team to the next level. But as a Chelsea fan, we give him his flowers, but as a side, to see where we've come from in the last few years, even with him in the side, struggling in certain areas, Moises Caicedo, unbelievable. I think Enzo gets a lot of stick. I myself have given Enzo a lot of stick, but he played really well yesterday. And, Gittins is coming through slowly. Bad miss yesterday, I can't lie. He missed an absolute sitter. But yeah, man, I think where the cause for concern for Chelsea comes in, to be honest, if any this season, is the defensive centre-back issue that we have. I think Levi Colwill was our, superstar centre-back, and he was really growing into his game. He's that guy that cuts between the lines, that the passes just break the lines, and he makes that decisive pass through the midfield. And we've needed that. Just like we've needed Cole Palmer, we've needed Colwill to break those lines. And, him being out is a big miss. Tosin has his days, Chalobah has his days. But at least through those injuries, we got to see the rise of Achempong, who we saw when we went to the Forest game as well. Young centre-back. he's got mad potential. So again, very exciting times to be a Chelsea fan once again. And I just hope somehow you bottle the league, and then we take over from December onwards.
Well, I'm not going to lie. It's the most confident I've ever been as an Arsenal fan about the league this year. Like, we're just looking strong.
You are.
And obviously, we'll get onto that, but City got 3 points today. So they are now, it looks like they are the biggest challengers. But before we wrap up on Chelsea, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the summer business.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, not controversy, I'd say, because I think a lot of Chelsea wanted to get rid of Madueke and Jackson, to be fair. I don't think you were that sad to see them two go.
No.
Upon reflection now, because of how you started in the season, do you just think, like, the transfer was a bit of a scapegoat just because you actually haven't performed that well this season? Or do you think, like, your business has actually let you down because of the fact, I think you signed a lot of attacking players, but, like, defensively, I'm not really sure there's a lot of depth there. I don't know. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I don't think the business has been bad. I think we've been quite unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson couldn't settle into that team. He wanted to move abroad as well, and he got his move to a great team in Bayern. So that aside, I think your main, I guess, query would be around Noni Madueke. I loved Noni. I thought he was a great footballer, and I think he still is what he's doing at Arsenal when he has his chances. He's a good footballer. But the problem with Noni was we brought in a younger guy called Gittins who has this unbelievable ceiling as well. We've seen him in Dortmund do great things. And then we brought in Estevan Willian, and you got Pedro Neto. So where does he fit in? It was just unfortunate. It wasn't one of those like, oh, we need to get rid of Madueke. It was like, it's probably best for his career as well. And he's gone to a great team in Arsenal. He definitely has a spot there. So, in terms of what you're saying defensively, we signed Tosin. Tosin, he's been there for about a season now. We had Colwill in there as well. We had Chalobah. We called him back from loan. So I guess when we had all these players fit, you wouldn't really think, oh, we need another defender or anything. I think it's one of those unfortunate times where we've been let down by injury. I mean, bro, there was a point where I think it was in the United game. I can't remember, but we got Fofana as well. How can I forget? Fofana, and then Chalobah got injured. Tosin got injured. Achempong came off, and then Reece James went into centre back. So it's a very unfortunate way, like circumstances of events. And you're never going to judge a player off you don't know what he's going to bring to your team. I mean, we've seen Tosin at Fulham. He was a good player. He hasn't had the best of times, but he's been good as well. You pick and you choose. You don't know what you're going to get in a player ultimately. Look how Liverpool have had to deal with following Wirtz. Unbelievable in the Bundesliga. True. They get him, and now they could say, oh, maybe we need someone else just to back Wirtz up, because sometimes he won't fit into a game where a team plays a certain way. That's football, I think the business that these guys have done, I always questioned it in the beginning, but it's hard to argue with it when you watch Chelsea now. Like, we're not a one-man team. Maresca's doing a good job. Some of his decisions have been a bit laxy-daisy. Like, against Man United, I think there was a lot of panic moves, but, he's a young coach as well. I think Chelsea Football Club are in a great position, and I think there's many more trophies to come. Listen, we just won a couple of trophies. We're all right. We keep moving forward and we keep challenging.
Refreshing take, really, to hear. I guess I think a lot of people, or some Chelsea fans I've seen online, they're a bit split.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of fans like you who are like, I'm quite happy where we're at. I rate the manager, like I rate the players. I don't mind about the business this summer. Like, we are building.
Yeah.
Some Chelsea fans who saw you win the Club World Cup and then probably thought you were going to do a bit better this season. And there's this rumor going around. I'm not sure what your take is on it, but apparently a lot of people are saying, Chelsea fans, a lot of non-Chelsea fans, that they don't like the way the football club is run in terms of, since the American owners have come in, they feel like it's being run a lot less like ruthless and geared towards trophies, and more like a business in terms of how you loan players and how you keep putting these players on massive contracts and then selling them and then bringing more players in. I guess the prime example of that being Madueke. Yeah. You saw that Arsenal were willing to spend 50 million on him. You only bought him for 20 or whatever it was. Yep. And then you were like, okay, we'll sell him because we'll make a profit on that. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Like, do you think that's just a bit of people, on a wind up? Or
yeah, I mean, it's hard to comment when we're not running a football club, right? In the 21st century.
Well, I don't know. I play Football Manager, mate.
Yeah, I mean I'll play FC26 as well. So I mean, we can all have our opinions, but when you're sat there and you have to run a business and a football club in the 21st century, and you've got to compete against the likes of Real Madrid and the Bayern Munichs with these heavy squads. Football changes all the time. These long-term contracts were a bit funny. I can't lie. Breaking these loopholes. It is what it is. Chelsea's always been a ruthless club anyway in terms of managers, right? We were built on, since the Abramovich era, if you don't perform, you're out. And I think sometimes that is also the case with the players. Now, don't get me wrong, there's probably been a few cases where we're buying a certain player just to load him out and then just to sell him to make a profit. It's hard to comment on that, bro, if I'm completely honest, because how can I, a guy who's just a football TikToker, presenter, I don't have the type of money to go buy a football club. If I did, and if I ran even a small football club, I'll understand the business behind it. But I don't think it's one of those fans can necessarily, unless if it was done consistently for the whole squad, then yeah. But we've had a pretty much consistent squad throughout the last 2 seasons, I'd say. Obviously, new players coming in here and there, but we still had the likes of Sanchez, Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo. They are key players in Reece James. So there's been a little bits moving about Chalobah as well. It's just, this is business. This is football. Football business is that, man. And in terms of like what you also said about Chelsea fans expecting more this season, I said, and I still stand on this, but I'm not going to kill my team for it. I said, if you don't finish top 2 this season, I would be disappointed. Because for me, Chelsea aren't in a building stage anymore. We're not in we're still building. We have built a team. We have got a manager who's had now some experience with the players. We've got, I'd say Cole Palmer's a senior. Reece James is definitely senior. João Pedro is a senior. He's played in the Premier League, many seasons. Enzo's a World Cup winner. We can't say that we are building like we did 2-3 years ago. We've won a Club World Cup. As much as people want to mock that competition, bar the fact it's a new thing, we played PSG, the best team of the year, in the final, and we slapped them, right? It is what it is. Could we do that tomorrow? Maybe not. I don't know. But we went out there, we did that. We've got capability. So in my case, the business had been done. We sold players, we bought players, yada, yada, yada. This is the season. I need to see something. Now, statistically, I saw something when they were like, Lampard had like 1 or 2 more points compared to Maresca when it was like, the same point, same games. But you watch Chelsea now and you watch Chelsea 3-4 years ago. We are a better side. We are competing against the likes of you guys and Liverpool and City. We look like we are meant to be there. The league is wide open, bro. Man United were top 4 the other day. City fell off and then come back. And Liverpool have fallen off big time compared to what they are last year. So I still will be disappointed if we don't finish top 2. I'll be happy, obviously, with a top 3 finish. Minimum, if it's anything outside top 4, I would be fuming, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was going to ask you where you think Chelsea are going to finish the season, but to be honest, I think you've made a good point. I don't think anybody knows where anyone's going to finish this season, apart from a lot of people.
And
it's crazy.
It's unreal. I don't know if they are anymore, because obviously Bournemouth just lost. But
Bournemouth have just lost. I'm pretty sure Bournemouth is still in the top 4.
Shall we have a look at the table? I'll pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up. Pull it up, Andrew. No, I ain't got. I wish.
The Premier League table is 1 second. Am I still recording? Yeah. Oh wow!
But
it's looking a little bit more normal. So we've got Arsenal top, City second, Liverpool third, Bournemouth, Tottenham, Chelsea. But Bournemouth, Tottenham, Bournemouth. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Bournemouth are on 18, Chelsea and Tottenham 17th, Liverpool 18th, Man City 19th, and then you guys are running away at 25.
But yeah, the Champions League places are. And even to be fair, the title still, I mean, look, I've got a bit carried away over the past few weeks. I think most Arsenal fans have. It's just because I think we look so solid, to be honest.
Can I say something about Arsenal, right?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't get me wrong. I give you every reason to get carried away. That's fine, bro. When you're top of the league and you got that many points, it's natural. And you guys are playing, good football. You've unfortunately changed how football is run with these ugly ass corners and pissing me off. You might get Tony Pulis back in, bro. Flipping heck. But I
was raging, by the way.
I just want to say
he wrote an article. Sorry, just to interrupt you there, but he wrote an article saying like, "Oh bloody hell, like Arteta's getting all this praise now, but what happened when I was
big Tony P, bro? He's the originator.
He's coming out of the woodwork.
Get him a job at Chelsea. I don't know. Give him a job somewhere. But no, what I was saying was, for some reason, Sometimes I speak logical and tactical, or sometimes I speak from the heart, and I don't know why. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Chelsea fan.
You're saying this because you're a hater.
No, I just don't see Arsenal winning the league, bro. I just see you, man, bottling it at one point. Listen, you're quite a few points ahead, but you're not that far ahead. You are catchable.
Nah, yeah.
And how many open play goals have you scored this season compared to?
Well,
corners?
we scored one yesterday.
Well
That's
done.
good. It was a good
Well
goal.
done. Listen,
Declan Rice stepped up.
you have started brilliantly, and I'm probably more scared of the fact that you only conceded 3 goals so far. But it's a long season, and can Arsenal hold on? We've seen them, challenge before, but they've fallen off. What happens after Christmas? Do City and Haaland? I mean, look at Haaland, bro. He's unstoppable again. Do they just rise to the top? Do Chelsea somehow wriggle their way into that battle? Liverpool, okay, they were shocking the last few games. They beat Villa. Can that be a turn of momentum? I don't know, but I just don't see Arsenal lifting a trophy. I just don't see it.
The reason why I'm so confident at the minute is because I look at Liverpool, and I know this is so early to say, and it's ridiculous, but I think they've already lost 5 games.
Yeah.
Which for me, even if it is 4 and I've got that wrong, it's just too many.
Yeah.
And I think even if they do sort it out, I think they'll concede too many goals that will lead to draws and not wins. Yeah. So to me, the biggest challenger for us is City.
Yeah.
And I look at Haaland, and it is absolutely scary what he's doing. I mean, he scored 13 goals. 13 goals, 2 again today. Yeah. And you look at the City team, mate, honestly, guess who the second top scorer is in the City team and how many goals they've scored?
I'm going to say the second top scorer is, I have no idea, but I'm going to say they've scored 3 goals.
It's a Burnley player who scored 2 own goals when they played Burnley.
No way! You're lying, bro.
Everyone else has got 1.
Oh my God.
I'm not. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, it's insane. I mean, their left back scored today. Forgot his name. The one who looks a bit like the person from The Simpsons.
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly scored today. Fantastic goal, by the way, from the lad. He actually looks really good. Yeah. He was I thought when he was playing at left back, I was like, Pep's just hasn't got a left back, so he's just playing him because he just hasn't bought one or they haven't got one. Yeah. But the more I look at him now, I watched him today and I was like, he's actually really good. Yeah. I just think he was sort of bedding in.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If Arsenal do win the league this season,
does
Arteta qualify as top 5 Premier League managers of all time, behind Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, Arsene Wenger, and there was someone else in the mix? Who am I missing?
No, he has to do
Ferguson.
He has to do more for me, because even
I saw an Arsenal person's take, and that's why I'm asking you, because you're an Arsenal fan.
No. I mean, look, fair enough. It's a ridiculous. I think that's a ridiculous take, to be fair. But I think if he won the Premier League, he'd have to win another one. So he'd have to win. He'd have to win 2, in my opinion. Yeah. And he'd have to also challenge for a consistent amount of time. Yeah. So yeah, he has to win at least 2, because you look at Ranieri at Leicester winning that Premier League. I mean, he's obviously ranks higher than Arteta. I know Arteta has finished second 3 seasons in a row, so you could obviously say as an overall manager, Arteta is better. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you judged at the end of your career on trophies. Yeah. So yeah, for me, he's not going to be up there now. In terms of Arsenal managers, yes, 100%. I think if he can win 2 Premier Leagues, then Wenger. He's up there for me. He doesn't go above Wenger, because I think if he wins a Champions League and a Premier League with Arsenal, for me, for what he's done, then he's definitely on par with Wenger, because no one's done that. Wenger couldn't even get us the Champions League, and we get bantered on that all the time. So if he can break that curse, and I think a lot of fans as well, they're looking at Arsenal and they're thinking, they're worried about us winning the Premier League. We've not even got into the Champions League, like the later stages yet. I think they're going to start to worry about that again. You look at us last season, with the only team to beat us was PSG, and they won it. Yeah. So I think it's scary times for fans who don't like Arsenal.
But
because I think
that's the other thing as well, though. Sorry, no, you carry on. I'll bring my point up. Carry on what you were saying.
No, I was just going to say, and I think it's just because our defense is so good, and that's why I'm so confident.
Yeah.
I've never seen a defense like this in my life, and the only defense we've ever seen like it at the minute, things could change, but honestly, it's just ridiculous. Is obviously you know about it. Is Chelsea's defense, that famous defense you had?
Yeah, I think I'd rather you guys win the title than take that title away from us, bro. I'll be honest, I can't be arsed with that, man. I really hope you at least concede 15 goals. But the other thing I was gonna say as well, like, obviously this is a given, but to become a Premier League champion, I think it is definitely underrated. I've underrated it a lot of the time growing up, but to be consistent over 38 games in a season, but then also be competing in the Champions League, competing, for domestic trophies as well. If you go out early in the Champions League, let's say you get knocked out in the last 16, whatever, then you've got a real and you're still top by that point, you got a real chance, because then obviously you'll have fresh legs. It's just if you compete far in the Champions League as well, juggling that FA Cup, League Cup, that's where, can you guys do it with the style of football that you are playing? Is it consistent? Is it doable, or are you just going to get dragged to second and third again? If you finish second this season, oh my God.
No, I think this is why I'm so I just look at our squad too, and because the same argument can be had about City or Chelsea or Liverpool.
Yeah.
If we get knocked out of the round of 16, all of our focus is going to be on the league.
Premier League, yeah.
And our squad is so deep, it's insane. Like, to me, I say this on the podcast a lot, but we've become the new Man City. You know, when Man City had that squad, not as good in terms of the way we play, but the squad depth, when you look at the bench and they had De Bruyne on the bench stuff, sometimes you look at our bench, we've got Rice and Eze on there and Ødegaard on there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
In the Carabao Cup, we fielded a whole different team, and I know we dispatched of Crystal Palace fairly. It wasn't a big deal. So this is what I mean. Like, I think we are the best team at the minute to compete on all fronts. And definitely, I'd be more worried as a Premier League fan, as a Chelsea fan, Premier League-wise, if Arsenal were to go out in the round of 16 of the Champions League. You want us to go further, like you say, because then we might drop off. Like you say, the same can be said for you guys. If you guys get to the semis of the Champions League, you might start looking at that instead. If you know you're not going to win the Premier League, and then that you might drop off, or the same said for City. So I think that's why I'm just so confident.
December's a very, very big turning point. Everything can be a bit more wisely discussed in about a 30.
Well, usually I'm not too quick to jump on these guys are going to win the league. Not this early in this season is ridiculous. Even at Christmas, I remember we were top at Christmas a couple of years ago. Havertz scored a last minute winner. I remember doing a knee slide and thinking we're going to do it. Do you know what I mean? And we beat City, didn't.
Man did a knee slide in his front garden, bro.
I did.
Your mum was like, oh,
honestly, it's embarrassing. And because it was Havertz too, and I was like, yes. And then we bottled it. And so that's what I mean. And we were top at Christmas, and we beat Man City. We beat City.
That's the thing. You were top at. Barely does a team who's top at Christmas not win the league. That's the cliche.
That's what I mean.
So yeah, it is good.
So that's what I mean. A lot can change, but the reason why I think a lot of Arsenal fans and a lot of other fans are saying the league's over already is just because not because how good we are, because we're not that good. We're very good defensively, but attacking wise, as you've seen, we're not amazing. But I think it's because the other teams are so bad.
Yeah. I wouldn't take that away. I don't think it's necessary, but I think the Premier League in general is very, very competitive this year. You guys have just been the most efficient team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You haven't been great in open play all the times, but you've done what a club needs to do. They can't take that away from Arsenal. Even if I mimic you and say, from scoring from corners and throw-ins and free kicks. Yeah, but that's the point of the game. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, it might look like football's going that way at the moment, but in terms of a 90-minute game, if Chelsea can't score, if City can't score, if Liverpool can't score, if Arsenal are getting that goal from that point, you have to give them props, and that's what you guys are doing. You're being efficient.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of criticism. I think we get a lot of criticism, but I'm glad you've raised that point because I think the reason it looks like we're really heavily weighted to set pieces, which doesn't look like it, we are, is because a lot of teams do play that way against us.
Yeah.
And you see when I watch an Arsenal game, it's dead funny. I say to this to my brother all the time. We go and sit down and watch an Arsenal game, and for most games, you'll be like, I know what's going to happen. The first 20 minutes or even the first half, they're going to sit back, we'll score a set piece, and then they'll come and try and play us. You seen what happened when Atletico tried to play us they got absolutely slapped up when we scored open play goals. I know we scored a couple of set pieces as well, but I think, like you say, if you're that good at them, it would be crazy not to use them to your advantage. But we can still score goals from open play. I just think a lot of teams do play that way against us.
I'm excited for November 30th, Chelsea against Arsenal. I think
I wouldn't be if I were you.
Oh, mate, listen, talk all you want, mate, but at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? When it's fucking needed, we pull through. So, I want to feel what Arsenal can do. Do you know what I mean? Come on.
So are you
show us some? It's like,
it's
like when you're sparring against that guy you always see hitting the back.
Mate, we've already. Yeah.
You're like, all right, I'm gonna get in the ring with. Let's see what it's about. Go on, throw a jab. And if I feel that the jab is heavy straight away, I'm like, all right, they got the Premier League. Let's just leave it at that.
All right, so I'll leave you with this question then. Do you think Arsenal will win the league this year? And if not, then who wins it for you?
Oh my God. Do I answer logically or do I answer controversially?
And I know it's early, so I'm not saying you're saying it's a definite, but if you're looking at it now, who do you think is going to win it? Can they win it? Can they do it?
I'm not going to go back on what I said. I may be wrong, but you know what? I'm going to stand on business. And my business is that Arsenal Football Club haven't got the heart to stick out a 38-game season. So they will not win the Premier League. I think they're a fantastic side. But second again, ole, ole, is going to happen again. Let's just hope that it does.
Well, if that does happen, I'm telling you what, I've completely fell out of love with football.
Oh, you know, you can sign for Chelsea.
I'm rapidly falling out of love with football.
It's a great sound. You know, it's a very relatable sound. These days, I am, with the flipping corners and all that. But the point is, yeah, to answer your question, I don't think Arsenal will. I'm going to stick on my emotional side. Yes, I'm going to be controversial, but I'm also going to stick on my emotional side.
No, I quite love it. I like it.
And who's going to win it?
I like to hear someone thinking, I like doubters, because at the minute we haven't got any doubters. For me, Arsenal will win the league. I've said this lots of times, and if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be the biggest melt on the internet. But I already am, so that's fine anyway. It's a good job I haven't got many followers. Jesus Christ, I'd get roasted if I did. All right.
Who's going to win it? Who's going to win it?
So,
good question. Ask me that question
really,
in 2 months' time, because I don't know. I honestly, it's too hard.
Yeah, that's all right.
This year is the most weirdest one ever.
So getting on to that then, if we're going to go on to Arsenal's challenges, do you want to talk about City? I just watched the game. I'm not sure if you had time to watch the game, but they did look pretty good. I think my only worry with City is I think they are going to be too over-reliant on Haaland, like I just said. I mean, 13 goals, no one else is scoring goals for them. But it did worry me a bit because it looked like they were clicking and they also played against a very good Bournemouth side. Like Bournemouth aren't any pushovers. Like there's a reason they were second in the league. They're a great team. I know it was at home, but they played some really good free flowing stuff. So, and then we look at Liverpool on the other hand. They went on a bad run, but are they back? Are they back? Fuad, are they back?
I'm gonna say for City, I'm gonna say yes. They look like it's clicking again. Mate, he is scary. Erling Haaland is just absolutely unbelievable. He is what this generation misses. We don't have that striker anymore. We used to have so many unbelievable strikers back in the day, man. The Drogbas, the Zlatans.
Good point, to be fair.
The 2010s were just filled with really, really good strikers up until I'd say maybe like the 2018 time, and then a few of the strikers started going a bit more downhill. But I mean, the real like Zlatans and these guys of that era, we don't have that anymore. And not only is he that type of striker, he's the best probably of that type of batch of striker because he's so clinical. He's scoring every single time. He's not fancy. He's nothing. He's just clinical, bro. I seen the second goal he scored today. Went past the keeper. You could just see he's a machine, bro. The celebration, he did like a robot as well. I was like, bro, you don't have to tell us, bro. I can see
did rate that.
I rate his YouTube channel higher than his playing abilities at the moment because it's really fun. But he is scary. I think he's one of them players that can carry a team to a championship, to a Premier League. I said championship like an American then. But yeah, so they will, soccer. They will be your biggest challenges at the moment in time. Are Liverpool Football Club back? No, I watched that game as well yesterday.
This moment in time,
Yo, what other sounds have you got, bro? I'm actually quite intrigued about that. Play me some.
I've got quite a lot. This one's my favourite at the minute because I think this is what's going to happen to us.
We're going to win the Champions League! Oh, man. R.I.P. to the G, bro. What a legend.
A lot. This one's a good one.
it can.
So,
it can't go on like this, can it? It can.
It can.
It can.
It definitely can, mate.
But Liverpool, that's the thing. Let's say they played Villa yesterday. Villa were really disappointing. I think going forward, they had plenty of chances where they just bottled quite a few chances. But Liverpool themselves didn't look great at times. Yes, Salah got a little tap in and whatnot, but I wouldn't say they're back just yet. I need to be convinced. And with another international break coming up, listen, as a Chelsea fan, I know what an international break does, man. It literally ruins momentum all the time. I hate it. But Liverpool don't need a break in momentum now. They need game. So let's see. I'm not going to call that they're back. I think they've got issues in their squad. I think it's a matter of, new players coming in. The Bundesliga tax is very heavy. Isak boycott tax is very heavy. We expect highly of these guys. And Ekitike, brilliant. Gakpo's very one-dimensional at the moment. Salah's aging like crazy. They don't look, to me, like, the Liverpool of old. They're missing a lot of things in that team. So, no, they're not back.
I think you raised an interesting point about, players and, strikers. We've missed strikers and top ballers. I actually think there's, an epidemic at the minute in the Premier League. Maybe in world football, since the Ronaldo and Messi era, we had all those ballers like Payet and Santi Cazorla and David Silva, absolute ballers. I saw a good point on the Jaffin podcast the other day they raised, and they were talking about little magicians. When the commentators say, "Oh, that's magic."
Yeah.
I feel like we've sort of lost that a bit. You look at Haaland. Let's be honest, he's the best player in the Premier League at the minute.
Yeah.
13 goals, but is he magic? Is he gonna wow you? I can't really think of. I think a lot of players now are super systematic, super physical, super strong, very efficient. You look at Saka for Arsenal. Is he magic? No. Is he a sensational player? Yes. And I think that's why it was so refreshing to watch PSG last year, because they're just full of tiny little ballers, little magicians.
Bro, Vitinha, what a player, man. Vitinha,
I know.
Neves, they've got some really unbelievable talent.
Well, I'm speaking to Vitinha right now.
Just came through, bro. No, you're right. I think football is. I don't know if it's an epidemic, because I'd say in terms of the actual use of the language, I think football's just changing in general, and it's not an exciting change. It's a robotic change. Like Saka, I watched a video on Saka where he's not exciting, but he's Saka is an academy graduate, and you can tell he's from a high level academy. He's a high level player. Whereas Elise, for example, Elise is magic. You watch Elise, you get excited. Yeah. So there is a few players about. I think the problem.
It's like Eze.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I watched Eze for Arsenal, and he looked way better at Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is because they have a system. I'm sure the system's great, but I don't think it's as rigid as Arsenal's system. And I think this is the thing. I think the players now are turning into cogs in a machine.
Jack Grealish is a prime example. What he was.
Yeah,
at
that's
Villa,
another one.
And then what he was.
Yeah.
See, well, I watched. I think it was a pretty old interview, earlier this year or something. I don't know, but it came up on my YouTube feed. It was the Rio Ferdinand and Wayne Rooney interview, and they were just talking about how good that 2008-9. 7-8-9 Manchester United front line was. You had Rooney, Ronaldo, you had Nani, you had Saha in there, you had Berbatov. And nowadays that really wouldn't work because there's too many personalities, there's too many thingies. But Rio kept asking, why did it work? Why do you think that worked? He goes, Sir Alex, just let us do what we want to do. And we weren't dimensional players. It's not like Ronaldo was only a winger. Ronaldo could switch and go up top where Rooney can shift out wide. Nani can do the same. He can come into the middle. They all just played football, and it wasn't like Sir Alex saying you touch the touch line and then you come inside and you make that overlapping. It wasn't any of that. It was, you guys are talented. You all can play as forwards. Go and play as forwards and score goals, right? And I think the talent, the confidence was that high around that club that even if a player had an off day, there was 3-4 other attackers that were on and switched on all the time. Football is missing that massively now. Football is such a system game. Sometimes it's nice to watch, when your team do score a good goal from an amount of passes and a nice play happens, but it's just killed the game. It's killed the pace of the game a little bit, I think. Think back to 2010 World Cup, 2014 World Cup even. The game was so much more fluid and
those are the
open.
days, man.
Even
yeah.
I mean, I briefly remember it, but if you go watch Zidane in 2006, I watched the final and I remember it very briefly. But I watched the highlights of Zidane against France against who was it? Was it Germany? Brazil. It was against Brazil. And just the way they played was just so much more open. If they faced off against each other, if a 2025 team played a 2005 team, would they win? I don't know. But for a fan's perspective, it's so much more better to watch.
Yeah, I think it's spread, not just the Premier League, though, because I think the big reason why it's happened is because of stats and the amount of information that we've got.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Sir Alex didn't someone didn't come to Sir Alex with a fucking computer being like, oh, look how many key passes Ronaldo, he only did 2. So, you got to move him here so we can do more key passes. He was just like, I don't care. We're just going to put the players on the field, see what happens. Yeah. Sometimes they'll have a bad game, sometimes they'll have a good game. But now, like you say, everything's down to the fine detail.
Yeah, and it takes the fun
So I think it does. But look, I still love watching football, but that's why I can't wait for I like the break I know the international breaks, a lot of people don't like them, but I do like watching international football because it is just a bit different. It's a bit more unpredictable, so I do look forward to it. Same with the Champions League as well, to be fair.
Champions League is like that. Champions League still has, because the energy of especially the knockout rounds. I mean, you watch like the likes of Inter Barca last year. What a game! Both semi-finals were unbelievable. The
Insane.
Final, when PSG just ran riot, they're like ruthless. I mean, that is football at its best, man. It's at its peak. So what a sport! What a sport! We're completely glazing football at the moment.
So we'll finish on I think. Forest and the relegation, and because obviously Forest played United, we went obviously to that Forest game together to watch against Chelsea, where they looked absolutely shocking. Forest, under Sean Dyche, they got that win in the Champions League, then lost, but it looks like defensively they're a bit better, and a draw against Man United.
Yep.
Man United, is Amarim's system, is that working now? Like, can you see a future for United under Amarim? Or because a lot of people were saying there's no chance he is lasting at United, and now all of a sudden people are saying, oh no, okay, I can see this working, just because that's how fickle football is. They've picked up 2 or 3 wins.
Yeah.
So
it's an interesting one. United's case is always very deep to talk about, because I'll quote that podcast again with Rio and Rooney. They were talking about what's the problem now at United, and this was probably when they were going through a really, really bad stage, unlike at this moment in time. I think what Manchester United were back in the day. This moment in time. What Man United were back in the day was just an unbelievable club. They were higher than the likes of Real Madrid in terms of current form and in terms of the ruthlessness. Madrid went through a little bit of a plateau before Ronaldo came. And then obviously they were always the biggest club in the world anyway, regardless. But Man United were an institution that were run by Alex Ferguson for however many years and built success throughout the years and dominated. I think we have to go back when you talk about Man United. The departure of Alex Ferguson completely shifted the club to a different... It's almost like being in a relationship with a girl for 15 years... and she leaves you, and then you have to go back in the market to find another one. It's going to be a hard game. Because one, you don't know how to flirt anymore. That's gone out the window. You probably put on some weight.
Tell me about it.
Sorry, man, if this is a bit close to home. You probably put on some weight. You probably don't look as great. And you just don't know how to chat to women. And that's the problem with Man United. Now, they've chatted to a few women. They've chatted to some old birds and some young birds and, some Dutch birds and whatever. They started to fix themselves. They got some good players. They got rid of some deadwood as well. They do look good this year, and if I was a United fan, I wouldn't be fully convinced of Amarin yet, but they look okay. Forest, it was a weird game because obviously Forest were on a bit of a decline, but Forest are a great side. They got good players, man. They got very solid players. So
Daichi, they got manager bounce, mate.
Yeah, so. that too. Daichi coming in, that no one wants to play against Daichi ball. Sometimes it's haram ball at its finest. It was one of the games. At least they didn't lose. Great goal from Diallo to get the point back on the board. But I would be a lot more relaxed as a United fan because they had good victories. They had good performances. I think even last year when you watch them, they weren't great, but there was times where you seen glimpses. I think they just need to build on that. It's bad because they are a team that had so much history, and now to reset so hard, it's always going to be a point of it's going to take time. And it is taking time because they haven't settled. Now, just relax. I think trust Amarin. I'm not just saying that because we want to see them flop, but I think trust the process a little bit. Just like Arsenal trusted the process, man.
Trust the process, man.
You guys went
We'll
through it,
tell
and
you
look now,
guys.
look now. And realistically, we can still mock Arsenal because they should have won more in the last 5 years. But I'm talking about you going through plenty. Remember, you went, I think, 8 years without a trophy, or something at one point before you won the FA Cup.
Yeah, we went a long time. It might have been more, to be honest.
So I think
12 or
United
something.
need to just kick back. I mean, they got to the Europa League final last year. It's a great competition. Came up short against Spurs. It is what it is. They've won a Europa League in the time that they've the post Sir Alex. They've won an FA Cup. It's coming. You just wait. Just give it time. Let whatever's going in within the club. Maybe that's something they need to look into more. But I think they are not back, but they're climbing, and they need to be watched for sure.
Yeah, that analogy that you gave about the girls, like a few minutes ago, it reminded me of that. I wish I had that sound on the board, like the Dillian White scenario, where it's like it's a bit of a weird analogy, isn't it?
you need to put that on. It's a weird analogy, but it's accurate, no?
No,
Like,
I get the analogy.
very...
I think the only counterpoint to that would be Arsene Wenger. We got it wrong once with Emery, and then we got it right. Man United have got it wrong about 7 times, so they need to sort this shit out.
No, but Arsenal one's a bit more different. I'll tell you why. Arsenal one wasn't that you just suddenly broke up with a girl for a long time. You held on.
I know what you mean. True, we were crap.
No, but
yeah,
we
held on.
You held on to
Good point,
the love
bro.
of your life for too long. But
Yeah,
you weren't a bad outfit. Like you still, Wenger was still giving
Mm.
you that good stuff, but not good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what the problem.
Yeah,
with
whereas
Arsenal.
I know what you mean. Yeah, so like Man United.
Got cheated on hard. That's the vibe, right?
They fumbled. What happened is they fumbled the baddie, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or the baddie moved on. The baddie retired from. I don't know how that works in a real life situation.
That's a weird analogy.
But that's that's what happened.
Oh,
Whereas
man.
we were going out with like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And yeah, she just she fell off a bit.
Yeah.
That's all.
She put on, and you were like holding
we
on.
didn't know when to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well hold on for a bit, and then we're like, actually, it's time to go.
It was time to go.
And
man.
now,
We're gonna win the Champions League.
oh god, I hope so.
Man.
I
We'll
hope
see
so.
what happens.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
man. It was an avid support of the ViperSport channel, man.
Oh mate, yeah, that guy was an absolute legend. So yeah, we're near the end basically, but I just want to get your take on relegation. I'm not going to be honest. This podcast is called the Armchair Podcast because I'm an Armchair fan,
Same,
and my
bro.
ball knowledge
Bro, look,
is
can you
not
see him?
is not great. You go to more games than me though, to be fair. But yeah, and I've got a great armchair. You can't see it, but it's quite nice. It's got a lot of flexion.
Yeah.
Quite enjoy it.
Mine's not too bad
Yeah.
either.
But yeah, I mean, for me, Forest look good now under Sean Dyche. I think he'll sort them out. That was a terrible impression. West Ham today. Like I was a bit shocked
What
because
was
they
the score? 'Cause I left that
won
2-1.
against Newcastle 3-1.
Oh,
I know it was at the West Ham's ground, which basically is not a ground; it's an Olympic park. But like, I was shocked really at the Newcastle result. I thought they'd be a bit better than what they were. Like they actually got a bit slapped up, to be fair. So I'm not sure what's going on there with Newcastle, but obviously it's a bit hard for them when you lose Isak.
Yeah.
Even though Voltemada's come in and has made a huge difference, I think their squad is just a bit light, isn't it? And they're in the Champions League. I honestly think they could fall off quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because if they do end up getting past the group stage of the Champions League, like I just think they're going to be so inconsistent, and that's what's going to do them dirty. Whereas like your Chelsea and your Tottenham and all that, I think they've just got a bit more depth.
Yeah, well, that was the sign there today. I mean, West Ham haven't been the greatest this season, and
No, they've been awful.
You expected Newcastle to do better, but yeah, I mean, West Ham are a good side. The league is very exciting this year because we don't know what teams are like. Even Newcastle could have a big bounce back. Do you know what I mean?
True.
They could have a big bounce back.
Yeah.
They got Voltemade is a really, really good player. I think
So good.
Elanga's still got a lot to show. I think I was expecting more from him when he went to Newcastle. But West Ham as well. I mean, we played them early in the season. We did beat them by quite a bit. But I remember the early part of that game, they looked really strong going forward. Teams are in a weird place. I mean, look at Sunderland, man. What the hell is Sunderland doing up there?
Crazy, mate.
Doesn't
True
make any
Geordie's
sense.
fuming.
Yeah, he's fuming, especially after today. But it's going to be interesting to see how that relegation battle plays out, who actually can survive. And yeah, we'll see. We shall see.
It's just going to be an interesting season, I think, and I'm looking forward to it. And I hope that we can get you on maybe maybe near Christmas or after Christmas, at some point anyway during the season. It will be nice to get you on again to see what's changed. Look back at this podcast and probably cringe.
No.
Hopefully not for our sakes, but yeah. But thanks so much for coming on, mate. I appreciate your time.
When I come back at Christmas, I'm gonna be like second again, ole ole, and I'm gonna be looking at the Blues first place. Please don't come and back my ass.
Hey, that's very optimistic, but
yeah, I hope
yeah, we'll see about that.
We shall see. It's
But
been a
yeah,
pleasure,
appreciate
man.
you coming on, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, thanks everyone for listening to the Armchair podcast. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Also, you can listen to this on Spotify. If you listen on Spotify, you can also watch it on YouTube. Please follow us on TikTok and Instagram and all the social media bloody platforms. My name has been Jacob Flowers. This has been Fouad Abdul Aziz with ViperSport. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week as always.